very sensitive when I say I recognize that CSC3 is a serious crime.
While many players retired to a peaceful and smooth life, Chad Curtis's post-career years were anything but serene. His harassment and sexual assault cases rocked the world, casting a dark shadow over his legacy and shocking everyone. Chad David Curtis is a former professional baseball outfielder who played from 1992 to 2001 with teams like the California Angels, Detroit Tigers, Los Angeles Dodgers, Cleveland Indians, New York Yankees, and Texas Rangers. He ended his career with a .264 batting average and 101 home runs. However, in 2013, Curtis's life took a dark turn when he was convicted of sexual assault. But before we tell you all the details, make sure you have subscribed. In May 2012, Chad Curtis resigned from his roles at Lakewood Public Schools after several female students accused him of inappropriate touching. The accusations led to serious legal trouble. By June 2012, Curtis was ordered to stand trial on 5 counts of criminal sexual conduct, which included a mix of misdemeanors and felonies that could result in up to 15 years in prison. The situation worsened in August 2012 when he was hit with an additional 6th charge of criminal sexual conduct. On August 16, 2013, Chad Curtis was found guilty on all 6 counts, including 3rd-degree criminal sexual conduct, which involves sexual penetration. During his sentencing, Curtis spent an hour addressing the court, claiming that his victims were lying and had made unwanted sexual advances toward him. Barry County prosecutor Julie Nakfor Pratt later described Curtis's statement as the most selfish, self-serving, victim-blaming statement she had ever heard in her career, reflecting poorly on his character. On October 3, 2013, Curtis was sentenced by Judge Amy McDowell to 7 to 15 years in prison. In February 2015, the Michigan State Appeals Court upheld his convictions with a 3-0 decision. Curtis tried to get resentenced in March 2016, but withdrew his request when he realized he might face a longer prison term. Things took a turn for the worse. After Curtis's conviction, his former teammate Gabe Kapler expressed his shock and disappointment, admitting he had misjudged Curtis's character. Kapler reflected on how Curtis's public persona had misled him, stating that he would no longer let someone's outward appearance or claims of moral authority cloud his judgment. Curtis was held at the Gus Harrison Correctional Facility in Adrian, Michigan. He was paroled on September 22, 2020, and was placed under supervision for the following 2 years. In 2014, a federal civil lawsuit was filed against Chad Curtis by his 3 victims from the criminal sexual conduct case, as well as a 4th student from Lakewood High School who had similar accusations. The lawsuit found Curtis liable for battery against all 4 girls. During a 2015 deposition, Brian Potter, a former Lakewood Public Schools board member who had started a ministry group with Curtis, revealed that Curtis had admitted to him in May 2012 that he had kissed one of the victims and had been inappropriate. Potter had not reported this conversation to the authorities at the time. In June 2017, Curtis's victims reached a settlement with Lakewood Public Schools for $575,000. Later, in September 2017, Curtis settled with 3 of his 4 victims. The 4th victim chose to take Curtis to trial, and in October 2017, she was awarded a $1.8 million judgment against him. In May 2018, one of Chad Curtis's victims filed a federal lawsuit alleging that Curtis had transferred nearly all his money and assets to his ex-wife, Candace Curtis, to avoid paying the court-ordered settlements to his victims. The lawsuit cited recorded phone conversations between Chad and Candace Curtis. Plaintiff's attorney, Monica Beck, explained that Curtis and his ex-wife had moved significant amounts of money, vehicles, and properties, and had tried to hide these assets from both the state of Michigan and the victim. In January 2019, Candace Curtis's bankruptcy petition was denied. The judge criticized her, stating that she was trying to delay or avoid the legal collection process and that her actions showed a lack of good faith.
Now, a recent bankruptcy filing by Curtis's ex-wife is holding things up even longer.
His career began with a storm of controversy.
Had a World Series hit, hits 2 homers, and one of them is a walk-off home run.
Curtis was selected in the 45th round of the 1989 Major League Baseball draft by the California Angels, making him the 1,155th player picked that year. Curtis made his major league debut in 1992, quickly showing his versatility by playing in 139 games across all three outfield positions. He finished the season with a .259 batting average, 10 home runs, and 46 runs batted in, while also stealing 43 bases. However, he was caught stealing 18 times, which was the second highest in the American League. One standout moment that season was on June 26th, when Curtis drove in 5 runs in a game against the Seattle Mariners. In 1993, Curtis improved his batting average to .285 and hit 6 home runs with 59 RBIs. Despite these numbers, he led the league with 24 stolen base attempts where he was caught, and he also topped all AL outfielders with 9 errors. The 1994 season was cut short by a strike, but Curtis still played 114 games, hitting .256 with 11 home runs and 50 RBIs. That season saw tensions rise. Curtis had a heated disagreement with batting instructor Rod Carew, who labeled Curtis as selfish and uncoachable. Adding to the drama, Curtis also had a public clash with general manager Bill Bavasi over his contract. On April 13, 1995, Curtis was traded to the Detroit Tigers. In the trade, the Angels received 36-year-old utility player Tony Phillips in exchange. In his first season with the Detroit Tigers, Curtis made a strong impression. He hit .268, belted 21 home runs, and drove in 67 runs, all while leading the American League with 670 plate appearances. Despite his solid performance, the 1996 season brought its own set of challenges. Curtis played in 104 games, hitting .263 with 10 home runs and 37 RBIs. The Tigers, who had been planning to release Curtis at the end of the season, decided to trade him on July 31, 1996. They sent him to the Los Angeles Dodgers in exchange for relief pitchers John Cummings and Joey Eishen. His fierce confrontations marked the dramatic end of his career. Curtis played just 43 games with the Dodgers, struggling with a .212 batting average and only 9 runs batted in. He was hitless in his lone postseason appearance that year. With a salary of $2 million, Curtis became a free agent on October 15, 1996. In May 1997, tensions flared when Curtis objected to a rap song his teammate Kevin Mitchell was playing in the clubhouse. Curtis shut off the stereo, leading to a physical altercation where Mitchell threw him over a ping pong table. Curtis ended up with a bruised right thumb and was placed on the 15-day disabled list. On June 9, 1997, the Indians traded Curtis to the Yankees in exchange for pitcher David Weathers. In 1997, Chad Curtis joined the Yankees and had a solid year, hitting .291 with 12 home runs and 50 runs batted in. However, his postseason performance was less impressive. He went 1 for 6 with 3 walks and a strikeout. In 1998, he played a role in the Yankees' amazing season, hitting .243 with 10 home runs and 56 RBIs. Curtis made his mark in the 1999 World Series, especially in Game 3. He hit a memorable walk-off home run, his second of the game, against the Atlanta Braves. When NBC sportscaster Jim Gray attempted to interview him on the field right after the home run, Curtis refused. He explained that his refusal was a reaction to Gray's earlier interview with Pete Rose, a former player banned from MLB for gambling. Curtis said, "I can't do it. As a team, we kind of decided, because of what happened with Pete, we're not going to talk out here on the field." Yankees manager Joe Torre later clarified that Curtis acted alone and that there was no team-wide decision to avoid Gray. His issues only made things tougher for him. During his time with the Yankees, Curtis was known more for his outspoken religious views than for his on-field contributions. He publicly criticized teammate Derek Jeter for interacting with Alex Rodriguez during a field altercation and kept pressuring Jeter to attend chapel. Despite Jeter's refusals, Curtis believed it was important to share his religious views, saying, "If I have something that I believe is the truth, and it's necessary for other people to come to some type of recognition or grip of that truth, then I want to share it." On December 13, 1999, Curtis was traded to the Texas Rangers for pitchers Brandon Knight and Sam Marcinek. A Yankees official remarked, "Chad just couldn't stay around any longer because that act gets tired." In April 2000, Curtis had another heated confrontation, this time with teammate Royce Clayton, over rap music Curtis found offensive. He also turned off a television show he disliked. Curtis went as far as telling outfielder Gabe Kapler, his Jewish teammate, that he would go to hell if he didn't accept Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. In 2001, Curtis played just 38 games, hitting .252 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. He earned $1.9 million that year. On November 5th, 2001, Curtis became a free agent and retired from professional baseball at the end of the season. That is it for this one. But if you happen to like baseball legends, make sure to check out our latest video on our channel, Baseball Icons. I'm sure you will love it.